Hello students, I'm Himani Sharma, your educator. I warmly welcome you all on the YouTube channel where we in today's video are going to discuss about ICT. But what in ICT? We all would have heard of the unit in paper 1 that stands for Information and Communication Technology, right? So there are different things which fall under the category. We have certain schemes to do. We need to know about the basics of a computer when it concerns some hardware and software as well. Correct. So what is hardware or what is software is what we are going to talk about in today's video. And of course, we are also going to jump directly into the different types which are also there. So the first thing which we need to know that whenever we want to understand the components of a computer, when we want to work with it, we need to know ki hardware kya hota hai and what is software as well, right? And a computer consists of both the things. Without a hardware, the software will not be able to work because we need a machine where we need the software to be installed. Correct? So all these things. Understanding their types and functions is really very essential. So we are going to talk about them only. So first of all, what is a hardware? Hardware is something which you can touch physically. It is something which can be physically touched. So let's just say if I'm talking about this stencil that I'm holding in my hand, this is a piece of hardware because I can touch it. This here monitor is a piece of hardware because I can touch it as well. Correct. So any component that is physical in its nature can be touched by any person, that is known as hardware. Correct. So examples are CPU. अब आप लोग ने CPU देखा होगा which comprises of different units which are there inside it. Correct. Like we have motherboard, we have chips, etc. which are there. All of them are hardware. Correct. Memory, because RAM chips hoti hain, ROM chips hoti hain, we can touch them. Motherboard, keyboard, monitor, etc. These are certain few examples of what a hardware is. Moving forward to the function of hardware, it provides a physical infrastructure for computing the operations. Now let's just say if I would not be having a monitor in front of me, if I do not have a keyboard or a mouse to operate, how will I be able to do or perform the functions which are there in the software? Or how will the software work? So already in the beginning, I told you that for a hardware to work, it needs to be there for a software to work in the hardware only. So we need the physical components that are the infrastructure of the same. And then we need to use those things in our computing devices to perform certain algorithmic performance, functions ho jate hain. Different functions are there. You need to create a file. You need to have the keyboard. Even in your laptop, or even if we are talking about this monitor, it does not have a keyboard of its own, but it has a software of a keyboard that pops up on the screen. Correct? So what are the different types of hardware which we are going to talk about in different chunks? We have a CPU that stands for the central processing unit, which is also known as the brain of the computer. Then we have memory, jisme we have RAM and ROM, where one of them is volatile, the other one is non-volatile. Then we have different storage devices such as HDD, solid state drives, etc., where we can store large chunks of information. You guys would have heard of different hard drives. ठीक है, हमारे पास TBs में भी hard drives होती हैं. We have in GBs as well, right? So for very larger chunk or piece of information, we can use an external device which can be internally put as well, known as hard disk drive, etc. Input devices में we have keyboard and monitor because they are the ones which can also be touched. Coming back to the output devices, monitor, printer, because we can touch them, this stencil that I'm holding, the joystick, etc. Correct? So all of them, because of the fact that they can be physically touched, they are physically tangible, they are known as the hardware, and these are the types. Now, first type of hardware, which is known as I already told you, known as the brain of the computer, right? Because here each and everything is, any function is processed in the CPU, correct? It executes instructions that we provide to the computer, performs calculations, whatever binary coding the computer has in its mind. And what is the mind and brain here? CPU only. तो जो भी आप function दे रहे हो, let's just say if you are typing Himani Sharma, you are typing it in the human readable input. You're giving the human readable input. But first of all, the CPU is going to transform the same input that we have provided in the binary functions, in the binary digits. That is 0 and 1 ki combination mein, it will make my name. Correct? So that the CPU and the computer can understand what to show me as the output. So यहाँ पे मैं Himani Sharma, if I'll type, the computer will convert it into zeros and one, and then again show it on the screen, Himani Sharma. Correct? Types are Intel Core, AMD Ryzen. These are some types of the CPU. Moving forward, we have different types of memory as well, which is RAM, that stands for random access memory. This memory, time and again, has been asked in the NET examination. This is what type of memory? This is volatile. Right? This is volatile means this is temporary memory. Whenever the computer is, turned off and all, power chali jati hai, whatever instructions would be there, they would be deleted. Correct? So RAM does not hold a permanent position when it comes to the instructions. Function is it stores data and instructions that CPU needs to access quickly. But as I told you, wo instructions delete ho jayenge if the power will be gone. Examples here are DDR4 and DDR5. Moving forward, we have ROM. Now in ROM, what do we have? What does it stand for? First of all, it stands for read-only memory, which means that on the ROM chip, whatever instructions have been programmed by the programmer, they will remain there forever. Hence, it is also known as non-volatile memory. This volatile and non-volatile, which is volatile, which is non-volatile, time and again has been asked as the PYQ in the NET examination, correct? So what is the function of a ROM? Stores firmware and instructions that are permanently programmed. Permanent hai, hence it's non-volatile, right? Into the computer. Types are BIOS, firmware, etc. These are certain types of the ROM chips, the ROM memory. Moving forward, we have a differentiation between RAM and ROM. Stands for random access memory, read-only memory is for ROM. So you can note down the table, you can pause the screens as well, however you want it to be. It is volatile, that is present till the power supply is present. I already told you. On the other hand, if we try to talk about ROM, power chali bhi jayegi. If you want to turn the computer on by pressing the power button, तो उसी button से time and again the CPU will start, to be turned on, etc. Correct? So वहीं से power on होगा. This is hence permanent, that is non-volatile. RAM speed is quite high. ROM की, it is slower than RAM. Can be read, erased or modified. Let's just take an example of a Word file here. RAM mein, if you have created a file, you have made some grammatical errors, you can do that. But in ROM, there are certain types under ROM जो कि erasable होती हैं, but of course, majorly ROM is a read-only memory. Hence, the instructions which are stored there, time and again cannot be erased or modified. Correct? Used to store data that CPU needs for current instruction processing. On the other hand, this one, ROM, to bootstrap the computer. Bootstrap मतलब जो भी हमारा computer on होने के लिए whatever instructions that it requires, they are stored with ROM. Here I give you one more PYQ. Correct? It is large and high capacity. ROM on the other hand is generally small and it is lower than RAM as well with low capacity. Correct? RAM is expensive. अगर आपकी कंप्यूटर की RAM लैपटॉप की खत्म हो जाए, you can get it also installed internally on your computer. So it's expensive as compared to ROM. So ROM is cheap. Moving forward to the storage devices as well, because they are also a component of hardware only. We have hard disk drive. Iska full form time and again has been asked. Store data magnetically on spinning disk. You guys would have come across. If you wouldn't, you can Google a picture, right? Then we have solid state drives as well. Jahan pe we have flash memory technology providing faster access times. The data storage happens in nanoseconds in SSD. Correct? Types are SATA, NVMe. Correct? Then we have input devices because they are also, they can be touched as well. So यहाँ पे keyboard is an example, allows users to input information alphabetically, numerically, etc. We have mouse so that we can use the pointer to open the applications and all, to control the cursor and interact with the graphical users interface. Whatever is there on the screen, we will need to have a mouse, right? और हमारे लैपटॉप के ऊपर जो बोर्ड होता है, for that touch pad जिसको बोलते हैं हम, right? That is required for us to use the cursor and all, correct? So these are certain examples. We have other examples of the input devices such as this touch panel that I am currently using, joystick, barcode reader, etc. Then we have output devices. Now output devices we have already talked about, such as monitor and printer, because of the fact that they can be touched again, hence they are falling under the category of hardware devices, right? The function of monitor is to display the information, whatever I am inputting. Ab yahan pe, even if I am writing here, right, the monitor is displaying my name only, correct? So this is an output device. Printer, whatever instructions you give that you want this particular page to be printed of a particular document from your computer, that page will be printed, giving you the output of the input that you have given, correct? Time and again ये लोग input output devices के examples के through they have asked questions related to odd one out as well. Moving forward to software. Now software is something which is not physically touched. It is something which is kind of a program or a set of instructions which are installed in your computer. So you guys would have come across Avast antivirus या हमारे कई antivirus programs होते हैं. We have Microsoft Office, Word, Excel, PPT, etc. These are small programs which are required to perform different functions, correct? So softwares are basically set of instructions or the programs which are there, right? That tell the computer how to perform the tasks, and you have the image here which is showing us the different formats of different software as well. In our mobile phones as well, हम लोग के पास Instagram है, we have Facebook, correct? We have WhatsApp. What are these? These are softwares which are being installed, correct? Examples are operating systems. We need to have an operating system here in this particular touch panel as well. I need to have Windows, correct? Any operating system, I will have to have only then the application softwares will work. Application software such as already told you, Google Chrome हो गया, browsers हो गए, games, web browsers, etc. What is the function? Enables us to interact with and utilize the capabilities of the hardware. Now let's just say if a hardware is sitting on your table, a computer and a monitor and a keyboard. If it does not have an operating system inside it, agar usme Windows hi nahi hai, it will not be working. So we need the applications as well as, first of all, we need to have the operating system inside it. Only then the hardware will be of any use, until and unless वो hardware सिर्फ एक machine की तरह would be sitting on our table, correct? So types यहाँ पे operating system, like we have Windows and all. Application software where we have word processing software, we have Excel, we have PPT, we have Google Chrome to search for different information, correct? Utility software to increase the activity and utility of our computer system, such as we want the cyber security to be there. ठीक है? उसके लिए we install different antivirus, disk cleanup to clean up the disks and the memories which is not even required now, and file compression devices or software as well. Programming languages में भी होते हैं. There are Java, Python, C++. These are the software where we need to perform the coding task to make a particular application, run some program, so on and so forth. So operating system, first of all, it manages computer hardware and provides the user interface. And I already told you, without an operating system, a hardware is just a piece of box sitting with you on your table, so on and so forth, right? Examples are Windows, Mac operating system, Linux, right? We have iOS and Android in the phone systems. क्योंकि फोन भी अगर आपके पास होंगे, you will need to have certain application operating system उसमें Android होगा, only then your phone will work, right? Otherwise it's just a normal phone, it's just a dummy then. Then we have application software where we have applications, different applications to perform different separate functions. Perform specific tasks and functions for users. Examples are Microsoft Word to create documents, Excel to provide us, the other person or etc. with a spreadsheet, Photoshop, Adobe, Illustrator, etc. Another examples could be asked in the NET examination. So Notepad, Excel, OneDrive VLC media player to play music, to play the video files as well. Adobe Acrobat Reader, WinRAR to compress the files, Google Chrome, Skype, Paint and Word. These are certain examples of application software. Then we have utility software to provide the tools to manage and optimize the computer performance. Now, agar aapke computer mein, if you guys would have come across any time with any type of virus, you know that your computer's speed turns to be lot slower than usual. So just to optimize the computer system as well and to make sure that no cyber security harm is there, we install an antivirus. So antivirus falls under the category of utility software, right? Not an antivirus, cleaner, WinRAR, these are examples of utility software. Then we have programming languages software, where we need to write and develop software applications and programs. So where, you know, the software applications wale jo software developers hote hain, they need the coding and all to be done, correct? So uske liye they need Java, NetBeans, they need MySQL as well, right? Python, C++, etc. These are the examples of the programming software. So both hardware and software, they both are essential because the computer needs to work. Without an application, the hardware will be of no use, and without hardware, there will be no application which will be existing. So vice versa, they both are required for a computer system to work in the maximum optimization level. Continuous advancements are there. Why? Because at times hardware में भी there are many अगर आपने iPhones देखे होंगे, कई चीजें देखी होंगी, you guys would have come across different models with different features and all, correct? So in computer system as well, there are certain modifications or updates which happen. Now hardware में the hardware system is completely changed, but in software we get application, you know, WhatsApp पे edit का option आ गया है. So all these things, whatever updation etc. we are getting, we both need the updation in both the things, interconnected and depend on each other. Now, last slide where I want to show you the difference between hardware and software in a quick manner. Tangibility, which can be touched, which cannot be touched. Hardware can be physically touched. Software, intangible, cannot be touched physically. Representation of computers capabilities. Physical capabilities दिखाता है printer के साथ we can print documents, but how will we be printing documents? We need to install the drivers in the computer system, right? So the tasks and operations which will be performed by the printer from the computer would be taken care of by the software application, correct? The cost, it is more expensive because you need an entire system, and it, you know, it is for lakhs and lakhs of rupees at times and could be in thousands as well. But software वो थोड़ा cheaper होता है as compared to hardware. Physical limitations, it can wear out because your computer might start slowing down because of certain applications as well. यहाँ पे updates की वजह से भी होने लगती हैं कई चीजें. So there are certain updates to certain applications, operating systems which can also occur. Installation and modification, these are the fixed physical components. Anytime the question is asked, you need to make sure of this thing. With hardware, you're memorizing the thing as something which is physically touched, correct? Easily installed, updated and modified. कोई application का नया version आया है, you can easily click on the update version, you will get the updated version of the same. With this, we are done with the easy definitions of what are hardwares, what are the types of hardwares, what is the difference between hardware and software. I hope to see you in another video. Till then, you guys keep on studying. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.